Yes.
Okay. So what FCM does? FCM is the downward messaging, means server to the client. Separate architecture you need to implement if you want to do the server side scripting. There is a another architectural way you need to work with. So from the app, this is a client, this is a server. That will happen over the HTTP. That will happen typically over the HTTP, right? And HTTP says that it's a request and response model. What is that? Request and response. This app needs to request to the server, and server is going to give you response back. That is what the traditional way. But why you need FCM server? Because FCM server can push the messages to your apps or to your devices. FCM server can push the messages to the devices without any request, right? And that's why we call it as the push notifications. What we call it as? Push notifications, because server has pushed them. We call it as push notifications, right? And FCM is one of the utility. Push notifications can be implemented by means of many other servers, but in Android you need to work with the FCM, which is a free, not completely free, right? There is a limit, there is a quota limit you need to have. Okay, now what we are talking about is a FCM, Fire Cloud Messaging. Okay, let's start to integrating now. Now there are some Google samples, and you can say FCM, right? Now if you can see Fire Cloud Messaging Quick Start, right? Firebase messaging service and Fire Instance ID to enable the token. Fine, that's not an issue. See what things you need to remember, right? What things you need to remember are these things. So let's go here, and here let me open, say, module. Let me create new module, phone and tablet, right? And here I can say FCM. It's not a Java, it should be Kotlin. Next, right? And the empty activity I will create. Next, and finish. So in our chat application we need this thing, right? FCM, because we are going to make a chat by means of this only. Say add and something like that. Okay, so nice documentation is there, docs, and here guides, and guides for the Android guides. Go to the Android guides. Okay, now see what do you need to have. 16 and above, Gradle plugin 4.1, use a Jetpack Android X, which includes the this thing, version 3.8 and something like that, right? Now you can connect your Android app to the Firebase using one of the following methods, right? So option 1 is recommended, and mostly I use first option. Create a Firebase project first, right? Then register your app with the Firebase. You need to register your app with the Firebase, right? You need to go to the Firebase console. I'll show you everything. Just go through it and add a Firebase configuration file. You need to add the Firebase configuration file and Google Services plugin. This plugin you need to add, right? And you need to have the Firebase SDK. You need to have what? Firebase SDK. So we need to have this thing, Firebase SDK, right? And here your integration of the Firebase is done. Now see what I'm going to do. You are also, whenever I do the code, I'm going to push it, right? At that time you can also clone my project and we can see messages are coming to your app or not, that we will see. Okay, multiple push is happening or not, that we will see. Okay, the very first thing, create your Firebase project. Okay, now click here, click to this button, right? So here what they are saying, in the Firebase console, add a project, then select the project name. Click on the Firebase console. Just a moment. So I will open it in the Firebase console. This is a Firebase console. With your Google login, you can access it. Okay, now I already have created a project, back demo. Let me delete that first, so I can create new for you. So I would like to delete the project. Okay, now let's create the project. Enter your project name and we can say FCM demo. Okay, continue. We don't need to have these things. Say,
Will you be telling us what these things are? Just 2 lines.
which one?
These A/B testing, user segmentation,
See,
predict
these
keyword.
are, Google gives you, these are their services. Means there are many services Google provides, right? So presently you don't need this thing. Even I haven't used all these things. So all these are coming under the paid thing. Some of them are paid, some of them are free, right? But it's not necessary that you should add all of these, right? So I have
So,
used FCM just for the, sorry, Firebase just for the, you can say, cloud messaging, this part, right? So Google reads the data or your app flow, getting that? And for that
okay.
it needs all these things, but presently you don't need these things. Enable Google
Okay.
Analytics for this project. Have you used something like Google Analytics only for the web? Do you know that Google Analytics for the web?
I haven't used it.
10 मिनिटांनंतर कॉल करतो ना जरा थोडा
Right, but so don't enable this right now. Presently we don't
Okay.
need this thing, right? Many things would be getting
करतो
added
तुला
automatically.
ठीक आहे
Sir, analytics means how many users install app and other
No, no,
means how many
not,
times the
no, no,
app
no,
crash.
not that.
Is that okay?
Not that. So how many users are installed you will get on the Play Store, right? This is related to something else, right? Predicting the user behavior we don't need right now, right? And there are more fantastic framework for this than the Firebase also. And some company says that why we should send this data to the Google, right? Even the people have problem with the FCM also, because push notifications are passing or driving through the Google server. So there are many options like this Rethink DB, which is a perfect alternative for the Firebase, but Google is not allowing you to use this. Google says that push notifications are only allowed through the FCM or Firebase. That's why we need to learn this. Otherwise, I will not recommend you to use a Firebase in your real-time project. It is very costly. Getting that? And presently you don't need these things, crash free users and other things. That adds the more complications, and they steal the data from your application and they use it for their internal purpose, right? Fine, Vinod.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, we can't say all the privacy stuff because everyone has a Gmail account anyway.
Yes.
We all have Gmail.
No, but
So anything
so
beyond that is like,
this data is related to how much you stay on the particular activity,
yeah.
which button you click at what time,
Mhm.
right? It adds the additional things to your application, but you need to write a code on the front also, right? Then it will happen. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's focus on the FCM, which is very important, and in every project you need to use that FCM. And Crashlytics and other, see, Firebase has these many products. If you go to the products, Google has created more than 50 products under the Firebase. See, Cloud Firestore, Firebase ML, Cloud Functions, Authentication, Hosting, Cloud Storage, Real-Time Database, and there are many. Crashlytics, Performance Monitoring, Test Labs, App Distribution, Grow Your Business. See, these many are the products Google is having, right? Well, fine, let's go here. Okay, now see, at the left hand side on the Firebase console, remember that if your customer says that you need to use some another, even the AWS is also providing same thing, right? But FCM is from the Google only. Why we are learning this? Remember that FCM, push notifications, there is a no alternative to the push notifications. You need to come to the FCM only, Firebase only. Now see, here is a cloud messaging, right? Just click on the cloud messaging, then just go to the documentation, docs, this part. Okay, in the option 1 we are talking about, so we have created the Firebase project. Now if you are creating a new project, you can edit the project ID. Okay, now see, can you see, this is the optional part. Set up the Google Analytics for your project, which enables you to have the optimal experience using any of the Firebase products, Crashlytics, cloud messaging, and something like that. But this is optional, so just forget about that. Then register your app with the Firebase. Remember that this is a very important step, and you make a mistake, you can make a mistake over here. In the center of the project overview page, click on the Android to launch the setup workflow. Click on the Android, this part. Click here. Remember that here you need to provide what? Key or your package name. Where you will get the package name? Can you tell me? Under the FCM, go to the FCM, build.gradle, and this is your package name, application ID, right? Go here and just paste it. App nickname, this is an optional, and debug signing certificate key, this is also optional. Just register. Okay, now see, Google gives you one file called as Google Services.json. Google Services.json. that you need to put under the app folder. Just download this file. Download this file, google services.json. This file, just copy this file from here and paste it under the app source. See this, my application app at this level, at the level of the build.gradle is here. Your project under the app build is there. At the level of src you need to put, at the level of src, remember that here you need to put. Okay, just paste it, google services.json. Now this is the JSON file, if you see, which is having information related to your application, right? And your app is getting connected to the Google servers by means of this file, Google Play services, right? Now this is the next step. See, now the Google services plugin for a Gradle loads the google services.json file. You just download it, modify the build.gradle in this way. Now let us check how many things you have. New version of Studio might have given all these things. Add this line. Can you see this class path? Just copy this. We need to have this. I think already we have that. Close all the things at the beginning. Remember that the outer build.gradle file means this build.gradle file you need to modify. What things you need to have? See, check that you have the following line. If not, add it. Google, do we have the Google? Yes, we have the Google. We don't need to add it. Then add this line. We need this line. Class path. Then check this line is there or not. Yeah, this line is there, so we don't need to worry. Just sync the project. Then fourth step is adding the dependencies, and this also you need to have. This we need to have. Add Firebase SDK, and we need to have. So we have added all these things. Apply plugin this, and then we need to have this part. Okay, so this is important for the Firebase. FCM, Fire Cloud Messaging. Okay, plugin has been updated. Hello, you there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is just a setup of the Firebase. Remember that. We are just setting up the Firebase, and now we will see our app is running or not properly. So I'm installing in my mobile. Let me install it on my mobile. Let's cross verify again things are proper or not. Okay, you are ready to start building the Firebase. Fine, we have done that. Just run the project and see, still Firebase code hasn't been added. Remember that. We have simply added the configurations, right? Now see what things you need to do. There are little things that you need to remember while you will work with the Firebase, and I'll show you that. Okay, can you see this Firebase messaging service you need to add? And in activity you will find the initialization code. Yeah, see this get instance dot. Okay, let me check manifest also. Okay, now just go to the docs for Android. Done. See, when you install the Google related activities or Google related things, it will take a time, and app is properly working in my phone. If you see Locket and this thing, app is properly working on my phone, means libraries, there is no error. Now what code you need to add? When you type what code you need to add, let me show you. Very first thing, you need to have the Firebase messaging service, right? One service that Google.
Hello.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm disconnecting the call. I will go through videos.
Sure.
Because of some personal reason.
Yeah. Fine. Fine. So what we need? My Firebase messaging service. So let's go here in Java, FCM, and new class, you can say FCM service. FCM service, which extends, remember that this is a service which runs continuously in the background. Google has written that code. Firebase, what's that service? Firebase messaging service. This part, you need to write one service, and that will continuously run in the background. So do we need any other dependency? we need this dependency actually. Let's have these two, or just have this. See, this is a recommended one to add the analytics, but not required. So this you don't need it. This you need it. I think I got the error many times. Because I don't add the analytics. And see, he has added the plugin at the end. But fine, there is not the problem. Just sync the project. Okay, now let's import the, yeah, we have imported, right? Now if you see in this, FCM service, and see, on message received is the method that you are looking for. What's that? On message received. So we'll go here, on message received. Okay, this we are looking for, and let's log.i, and here you can say msg log.i, and here I can say msg dot data dot, okay, just print that map as it is, and you will get to know what's happening. And this FCM service need to be added in the manifest file. Service and the FCM service. Let me check, do we have any action for that or not? Sorry, not here. Yeah, can you see there is one intent? Exported false means not accessible by anyone else. Of course, because every app has its own FCM service. That's why it is exported false. And exported what? False. So this is important. And do we need anything else? Okay, this is related to the notification. So these three things are optional. See, let me see. Set the custom default icon. This is used when no icon is set for incoming notification. Yeah, got it. Not an issue, right? Let's forget about that. Now here you are getting what? Log. Can you see? And why is the error? Okay, and there one more method is there, on new token. token. Here you can pass token. See, we just have written the service. Now what this service does, let me have log.I at Annie and new token is $token. I'll tell you what is this. I'll talk about this little bit later on, but let's keep it as it is. See, whenever you receive the message from the FCM, here this function gets called, and here you get the log. Our target is that we just need to print the log anyhow. So that is the first target, right? So I have written everything. Some code is remaining, and that code is related to the, what you can say here, registering app ID, registering what? App ID, or generating the app ID, and that would be getting stored on the FCM server, right? Let us see now how to do that. Initialization code for the Firebase, that's what we are trying to do. App, you can say source main okay. Now see, this code is related to the notification, right? I don't worry about that right now. Now this also not, yes. So this is that part that we are needing. I'll explain you, don't worry, just a moment. So I'll get this code and go to your activity, and here I can say init Firebase private fun init FCM. What's that? Init FCM. Just import that, and on completion listener just import that. So we don't need all these things. And here log.I can say, and instead of that I can say Annie. If there is a failure, and just let me clean the project, not clean, reformat the code. Yeah, some brackets are missing. Now here I would like to print the token, log.I and here you can say token is, remember that this token is required for making your communication. Now what's happening, let me tell you. What's happening, let me tell you. So this is your app presently, and this is the FCM server, right? This is the 3 applications. Whenever 3 or 4 n applications are there, they are going to register with themselves with the Firebase. They will be registering themselves with the Firebase, and they are generating one token. Token means that, so here I can say T2, here I can say this is T3, and here I can say this is T1, right? Token 1, token 2, token 3. If you want to send some message to one of the device, this is one device, this is second device, this is third device, you need to know the token of the particular device. Are you getting that? Hello? Hello? You there?
Okay. Yeah, we are here.
Sumedh? Mahavir?
Hello.
Yes, Mahavir.
Yes, we are here.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to communicate with the device, you need to have what? Token. Getting that? You need to have the token. Okay, you need to have the token. Now we have written the code for initializing or getting the token, and we can say init fcm. What we can say? Init the fcm, and see what happens. We need to have internet permission. What do you think? Yeah, do we need to have internet permission? You don't need it. Okay, now I am running the code in my mobile, and see, we get. So how many of you have opened your computer? Can you, if I push right now, can you run it in your mobile? So I can show you how actually these things are working. Okay, application is running
Okay.
in my mobile.
Yeah, we can try.
Okay, so application is running in my mobile. Can you see? Token is, we got the token. So this is identifier for my mobile actually. If you have this token, you can make the communication. And see, I'll go here, copy this token. I'm copying this token. Right now, go to the your project, Firebase project, Firebase console. Sorry. Continue to the console. Here we are there, and send your first message. Can you see this? Notification title, hi, notification text, or we can say same only, notification title, notification text. If you have any image, optional name. Right, presently we haven't configured the messages. Remember that we haven't configured any messages. So I'll go here, just see here if you get any message or not. I'll go here and I can say this is the app. This is the data fields. This is just for testing, remember that. Okay, can you see it is asking you the FCM token? Just paste your token, right, and the test. Here we should get the notification. Now notification has been arrived in my phone. I'll show you the screenshot. Can you see title and the text? Title and the text. So that's what it is. We have sent again text 1 2 3 4 something like this, and Just a moment, I am closing my app. See here, something is coming. Empty, what you can say, object is coming. Just a moment, I'll start my okay. Now here is FCM. Well, we don't need to open the app. You can close the app completely. Okay, see, application has been closed and you got the push notification. This is what the push notification is, right? Presently you are using the FCM server, but you can use your server also. But for that you need to store all these tokens. For that you need to store all these tokens to the Google, your personal server, and then this can be done. So this is your token, this is received key. So here also we have printed a log. Here also we have printed that log. That log is nothing but that log, right? And here you can put some optional data. Your app is this. Yeah, hi, hello, something like that. You can send this as many time you need to have. From here also you can send the notifications, right? Hello, hello. Now do you understand what we are trying to do? So this is just one panel, but in the real-time project this panel won't be in the picture. Are you getting that? So there are the APIs, and that APIs would be used to push the notification, as I told you. So this is the FCM server that we have used. This is the FCM server. This is what? FCM server, which will generate the tokens, right? Which will generate the tokens and store on it, and every client and every app will know its token. So whenever token gets generated, can you see here you have on complete. Here you have what? On complete listener. On complete listener means here token would be getting generated successfully, and here you need to write your web service. Your web service to post the token. Are you getting that? You get a token over here, and you need to post that token to your personal server. Then your backend developer will write a for loop which will iterate all the tokens and start pushing the data. There are some SDKs, right? Now see. Now what I'll do, Vinod, I'll push the code. If you have running system or at your side, please install this app and share your token. I'll show you how actually chatting happens. FCM. Configuration, right? So far we are configuring the FCM only. I'm pushing the code. Please clone, please pull the code at your side, and once you get the token, please let me know.
So do I have to clone or pull?
Pull. If you have make any changes in your project, you get the conflicts in my project. If you have made changes, just pull it. If you have already my project, just pull it. Start the recording. Yes.
I got the, I mean, it's there in the Git, Google services.json. I just need to paste it at the right place.
See this here. At the FCM, at the source level, you will get Google Play Services.json. Google Services.json.
Okay, build.gradle level. Okay.
How? Root level, you can say.
Okay. Yes.
Right? See here we created the token. Can you tell me why token is needed? Vinod, Sumit, Mahavir, why do you need the token?
So it can identify your app.
Yes, so identify your device in other way. Remember that. So if you want to send message from my app, my device to your device, or from the server wants to identify the devices, right? Or if server wants to pick particular device, it is like that. Pick all the devices whose city is Pune and make them promotional ad, right? There is a select query where city is equals to Pune, and it will find just token IDs, right? It will find what? Just tokens, and to that particular tokens it will send the data. Getting that?
Okay.
Now there is something called as on new token. If you see here, so what happens that token gets expired, right? What's that? Token gets expired after certain amount of time. Whenever token gets expired and Google creates new token, at that time this service gets called. Whenever token gets expired and Google creates new thing, so Google invokes, sends one message and invokes this method. So here also you can write a web service call post method to update the existing token. Post call for updating existing token, right? So this method is important for that. Okay, this part. Now how do I send the message, right? How do I send the message to particular ID? Now here we need two mobiles actually to check that. So what we'll do in the main activity, let's have a text view. Okay, we already have a text view. And let me provide some ID. It's a token. So txt tkn, right? I'll go here and here you can say txt tkn dot text is equals to this token. Okay, is equals to what? This token. And txt cdkn dot set click listener set on click listener. Okay, instead of this I can have edit text. Let's convert this. Edit text. Dot to string. Okay. IT. Remember that this is a object of edit text and we are trying to set the text over here. Okay, so you can copy that and I'll share a APK with you. Okay, fine. So this is one thing I did. Now let's have one more text box. So from here you can copy the token. Or let's pull it here. Let's pull it here. Width would be 0 dB. Match constraint. This is also match constraint. Well, in the code height would be wrap content. Okay, remember that here you will get the token. Now for sending message I would be having two text boxes. And button, here you can say okay. Hello, hello.
Yeah, we are here.
Sumit,
Yes, we are here.
okay. Mahavir, okay, fine. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to send the message. So if you go to the UI, if I type something and write the and click the button, right, that message should be sent to this token. So you need to share me the token. Okay, this is your token. and one more token we need to have. Here I can say, well, this is not needed at the runtime projects, right? Here you will get my token. This would be your token, and we would be needing one more text box for the one where you want to send the token. Okay, here we are copying that. So this is a starting of our application, remember that. And the recipient token, receiver's token, you can say, right? This is a message. We need to have your message. This message you want to send to this token. This is your token. Getting that? Hello? Hello?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Just we are thinking that our application is working or not. We are just working with that. Okay. Now, how to send the message? I'll show you. I think here we have dot FCM send message. From Android.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Dot send is the call. If you see, send okay, same messaging dot get instance fm dot send fm dot send. Well, it's a good programming practice that you should create the app class. I'm going to tell you at the time of project, but just a moment. Let in it where fm is of type fire base messaging, and here you can say fm is equals to this and we have a button, this button. What's the ID for the button? btn send. fm.send the remote message, and to the remote message sender id at gcmgoogleapis.com. Sender id means the id of another thing, another person. Okay. Just a moment, I'm checking the code. Remote message dot builder. And to the builder, here you need to pass the string presently. Just write like that. We'll do later on. What needs to be done, we'll do that later on. Set message id, add data. Set message id. So here you can have dollar. What is the message id? Increment and get, not needed. So we can say system dot current time millis. We can get system dot current time millis dot add data. Here you can have string, say my dt, and my name is Android. My dt is a key, remember that. Okay. So in the init.fm we are initializing the Firebase. Instance id dot what things we have. Okay, we need a Firebase for that. Okay, now here if you see, so this is needed, this part is needed, this cannot be changed. And here what we need to have, this is your token, REC token, we can see ET RC TKN, ET RC TKN. Dot bootstrap. Okay, so here another token @googleapis.com, sender id. And what is the sender id? I think sender id is that part only, sending the upstream messages, $sender. A message id should be unique for each sender id. The address of receiving app server in the format, this thing. So in my opinion, a unique numerical value created when you create the Firebase project, available in Cloud Messaging tab for the Firebase console setting plane. The sender ID is identified to the client tab. Now whatever I am trying to do here, right, that is actually a server part. I am trying to do on the client thing. Now see, send upstream messages. If you can see, if your app server implements the XMPP server connection protocol, it can receive the upstream messages for the users, from a users to device to the cloud. Send a test message, we have done that. We are successful in sending the test message, not a big deal. Okay, this is the Node.js part, right? So your admin messages or these messages need to be sent by the server. Okay, fine, I got to know what's happening exactly. So what I was trying over here, right, I was trying to avoid the server part, right, but that is not possible. We need to take the server part into the consideration, right, and for that we can use the Fire store, right, that I will tell you tomorrow. For our chat project, we can use the Fire store, but that would be tomorrow. Okay, now let me revise what I did so far. Let me revise and just forget about this code. This is not needed. Upstream messages. So this is for the server part, but presently we don't need it. Just forget about this, right? So let me tell you what we have done. We have created the FCM configuration. We have initialized what you can say FCM data, and we have sent the message from the from here to my mobile or to the mobile. You just go here and let me click on the send and test. See, application is dead, right? Application is dead, but still we are receiving the messages. Application is not open in the background or anywhere. Can you see this message just now I have received, right? So this is what we have achieved. So your application is killed, but still you can get the notification. That's what we have achieved. Do you have any queries? FCM is mostly FCM is mostly configuration part, right? So whatever we created a project, then we have taken the Google Play Services JSON file. That Play Services JSON file you kept under here. Sorry, this is the file, right? Then you have initialized the FCM in your project. How? FCM instance ID dot get instance. So this thing will create actual connection with your FCM server. This thing will make an actual connection with the FCM server, right? And you have written the listener. When connection is successful, if connection is not successful, do this thing. If it is successful, do this thing. So here you can write your web service part. Then we have written simple FCM web service, which is extending FCM messaging service, and here you are writing on message received. I didn't do anything right now, and on new token. So here we have done that, right? Now this is a foundation for our project. This is the foundation for our project where we can make a chat. So in our project, what we are trying to do, first part is a user registration. We are going to register the user, right? And then we are going to send the messages to the individual users. Getting that? That's what we are going to do. But FCM initialization is the foundation of that. Any question? Hello?
Not right now. We'll have to go through it again.
Sure. So I'll push the code. So please integrate this much and see you get the FCM message or not. Okay, Vinod?
Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow, what we are going to do is nothing but the material design, right? And once we complete the material design, I'll start typing the project.
So
Okay.
this part we will, I mean, this skill is something we need to do here, right?
So we are going to use it again. FCM, we are going to use it again in the project,
Okay.
right? But this is so what you need to do right now, you need to get that message from the console. So from here, that's your homework, that you should get this message on your phone. This much you need to do.
Okay.
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 This much part you need to do. Push notifications. So topic is what? How to push the data from the server to the here. That is a push notification.
And how does client to client happen? Both clients will have the ID, or how will they communicate?
By means of server. I'll show you that. Can you see this is a Node.js part? This much part will send the message. This is a Node.js part, right? So how the things are happening? Client to client communication, how that will happen? Let me tell you. So this is a one mobile wants to communicate with another mobile, say chat, right? You need to do, or need to send some message to this mobile. So both are registered on the FCM server. Both have their token IDs. Say FCM server. Both are registered on the FCM server, right? And they both are having their own server, transaction server, you can say, where you are going to make all the transactions, right? First, this is app 1 or user 1 is going to first, might be there is a business logic that you have already done the registration part, user has been registered, and once successfully registered, you are going to initialize the FCM, right? You are going to initialize the FCM. Once you initialize the FCM, it will receive the token, and that token would be stored inside your server back, right? That token is going to be stored inside your server back. Same, first this user will get registered on your own server, right? This user will get registered on your own server. Once registration is successful, FCM initialization will happen, and once FCM initialization would be happening, your token would be updated on the server. Your token would be updated on the server, right? Now this wants to send the message, right, from one of our chat screen. This A1 wants to send the message to the A2, right? So here you type the message and you'll call the post service. You call what? Post service on your own server, and that post service will send the message to this guy A2. So in that part you would be having a JSON like this. So you would be having from, then you would be having to, and then you would be having message, something like that. So here you would be having from your ID, right? Sorry, then you would be having something like that. This code would be there, from to would be there, and then there would be data or actual message. So this you will post to your server. Getting that? This object you will post to your own server. This will go from your application to your own server. Then your own server will find the token. So here in the to you would be having token, right? And this payload has been transferred to this guy like this. It will happen like this, right? And for transferring, it will take a help of FCM. Your own server will take a help of FCM for pushing the data. So again I will show you the data flow. So here you will create the data at your part. So here you will create the data. That data, it will transfer to your own server, right? Post, you will post the data to your own server, and after a successful post, that data would be transferred to the FCM server, and from the FCM server it will go to your device. This will happen in this way. Okay.
Okay.
Your own server have SDK. Sorry, your own server have your own SDK, and that code they have written here. Can you see? This is a Node.js part, Java, Python in a Go language, C#, or the REST call you can make like this, or you can make a REST call like this.
So can't the client directly send to another client?
Yeah, can be sent, but how do you make sure that the delivery is successful or not? So you are saying that from A1 directly A2 by means of FCM server, right?
Yeah.
But how your server will get to know that the particular message has delivered or not? Take an example. You have booked some pen drive, right? A1 has booked the pen drive, and A1 has straight away send message to the A2 that I need a booking of the pen drive, and the communication can happen through the FCM server. But your own server, how you will get to know that this communication has started and completed? And that's why this communication should routed through the server to track all the details. Getting that? Take an example of you are purchasing something on the e-commerce, a pen drive, right? If you are purchasing a pen drive and you directly send message to the vendor without having your own server in between, so you will not get any records at what time transaction has initiated, at what time ended. Getting that?
Okay.
That's why that should happen by means of your personal server. Okay. Any other queries? Yes. Any queries?
Not from myself.
Okay. So I'm talking about this thing. See, this is a server side code. After you have created topic, either subscribing to the client, you can write this code on the server side. This is the Node.js part. you'll create object. This is Java part. You'll create this message and send it something like this. Okay. Fine. We will see tomorrow. If you have any query, I can wait. If we want to conclude, we can conclude the session.
Tomorrow, what time will it?
Evening would be okay.
Tomorrow, I have another call at 6 o'clock.
In the evening,
Yeah.
4 to 5 would be okay for you.
Okay.
4 to 5.
Yes, no problem.
Okay. Okay. Fine. I'll speak with Suvarna.